Alright, so we're going to graph this ellipse. We know that it's an ellipse because we have different numbers under my denominator. It's already equal to 1, so all we need to do is go through and pull out the information. Now, I usually just find the center. So from the top, remember we flip sign, so the center is +1, -2. And I plot that, and then you can label it as center if you need to. And then rather than finding, let me get this back into focus, rather than finding the vertices, covertices, and foci that from my equation, which you could, let me get this back into focus. I typically go through and plot and then come up with the actual points. I find that to be easier. So the number under x, that is, in this problem, that's a squared because that's the larger value. It's under x, so that tells me that I go horizontally 4 units. So I go left 4 and right 4 from my center, and that's going to be a vertice because that was my larger number. So we're going to go back 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's a vertex. Then the number under y, which is 9, means I'm going to square root that, and I'm going to move in the y direction, or vertically, 3 units. 1, 2, 3, and those are my co-vertices, and that graphs my ellipse. So that's my ellipse. So if I wanted to go now and find the vertex, I would say, well, my first vertex is at -3, -2. My second vertex is at 5, -2. My first co-vertice is at 1, 1. And then my second one is at 1, -1, 2, 3, 4, 5, -5. The foci are the c values. Think of them that way. The distance from the center to the focus is c. We know a squared minus b squared is c squared for the focus, and that's for the ellipse. I know a squared is 16 from my denominator, and I know b squared is 9, and that's going to give me c squared. Well, 16 minus 9 tells me 7 is c squared. So I am moving, well, let me go ahead and put that, radical 7 units from the center in the direction of the vertex to get to that focus. That's the distance. So radical 7, what is that, 2 point something, so a decimal. So if you want to estimate on your graph, we're going a little bit over 2 units from the center towards the vertex, and those are my foci. And then the hardest thing really is just putting this into an exact point. So you start at your center, and I say, okay, what changed? My x or my y value? Well, my x value changed. So I started at 1, and then I went in the positive direction, radical 7 units, and I went in the negative direction, radical 7. So I'm going to write that as plus or minus radical 7. That's going to give me these two x values because we started at 1, we added radical 7, and we then subtracted. And then the y value of -2 is staying consistent. So this covers 2 points. I think MathXL might want you to write it as 1 plus radical 7, 2, and 1 minus radical 7, 2. So just know that you may have to type that in, but this right here is sufficient. That covers both of them.